Hey guys, here today showing you how to do pretty much a simple tune-up on a 2014 Toyota Rav4. This is the 2AR-FE engine. This is found in the 2013 through 2018 Toyota Rav4s. This also comes in the Toyota Camrys from 2007 to 2017, I believe. Just, you know, this is a 4-cylinder, so obviously not the V6 Camrys. And this engine's also found in the Scion TC. I think the 2nd generation TCs. So obviously the bodies will be different, but the engines will be the same. And I'm going to show you today how to change the spark plugs and the air filter. This would be considered a tune-up, aside from not showing you how to do an oil change. Most people get their oil changed now at the dealership or maybe like a speedy oil change place, so I'm not going to show you guys how to do that. But changing the spark plugs on this engine is super simple. All you need is a 5/8 socket, a minimum 6-inch extension. I would probably get a 9-inch extension and a ratchet, and obviously you need 4 new spark plugs. I'm using the NGK laser iridiums. The part number is LFR 5AIX-11. Oh, it'll zoom in or focus on that, probably won't, but yeah, that's those. So got 4 of those. You need yourself a new air filter, obviously, and some anti-seize for the threads of the spark plugs. But aside from that, we just jump right into it. I'm sorry I'm kind of like half in the sunlight and half in the shade, but I should be able to see what I'm doing. First thing I do, now I'm not sure if all the covers look exactly the same on these. The Scion might be a different cover, or the Camry might be a different cover, but the cover on this Rav4 plastic cover, it doesn't bolt on it. It's just popped on, so you can just lift it up. Just held on my little rubber grommets. That will expose the 4 coil packs. So let me see if I can zoom in on those a little bit there. You can see these coil packs right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're all held down by a 10mm screw. So you can go on ahead and loosen those screws up and remove them. You can just set the screws down to the side. Now, the coil packs will lift straight up. If you choose to take off the connectors first, you can just squeeze the tabs and lift them off. That's fine. And then the coil packs, you can label them if you'd like. You really don't have to, since they're all the exact same coil pack. If you want to label them for your state of mind, then that's fine. But if you don't want to label them, that's completely up to you. If you so happen to mix them up and put them back in the wrong cylinder, don't worry about it. It's totally fine. So once again, I really apologize for the lighting. I didn't choose a good time to do this. I probably should have backed the car up so it's all in the sun. But I really hope you can see what I'm doing here. I'll try and zoom in there so you can see what I'm doing. So like I said, doesn't matter. If you just give them a little twist like so and then pull them straight out, they'll just come straight out like that. I will say, if you notice that there's oil on the bottom of the coil pack boots, and there's oil also on the spark plug, that you need to do your valve cover gasket. I already did the valve cover gasket on this car a little while ago. You can see it was leaking around, so if there is oil, you need to change the valve cover gasket. So go ahead and pull these all out. And then using a 5/8 socket, you can go ahead and loosen these all up. Like so. I don't want to wrench forever, so I'm going to use a tool here to just loosen these up. I would never use this tool to tighten up anything, especially spark plugs. Oh, got one out. This one's clean, there's no oil on the top of it at all, so like I said, I just did this valve cover gasket, but if there was oil on the white part, you need to do the valve cover gasket. Okay, I'm going ahead and get the new spark plug. Get yourself a little bit of anti-seize, and you can get it at any parts store. You don't have to put a whole lot of it. Literally just a small little amount will work, will go just fine. Just put a little bit on like so, just like that much is fine. Smear it around, and then you can screw it in. You want to, I usually just drop them in, and then you'll start it by hand. Don't use a power tool, start it by hand to start it into the hole, and then you can go on ahead and tighten it up. Now, as I say in all my spark plug videos, these spark plug sockets have little pieces of rubber in them that hold the spark plug when you pull them out. Sometimes when you go to tighten them back up, sometimes the socket wants to stay stuck down there. So what I like to do is just put some tape the socket to the extension. That way when you get done tightening it up, everything will come back out and you don't have to sit there trying to dig out the spark plug socket and lose your mind about it. So that's just a tip. This one's not taped because I actually took the rubber out. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put all these in here and tighten them up. I'll show you how to torque them down properly here in a minute. Tighten these up. You want to tighten them. You'll tighten them until you feel kind of a, it'll kind of come to a hard stop like it is now. That means the washer has hit the seat on the cylinder head. Then you want to go ahead and turn it another quarter turn or 90 degree turn, and that'll be fully tightened. So that's what NGK recommends, because I don't know the specific torque spec of these, but once you feel it stop, go ahead and turn it another 90 degrees and it'll come to a stop. I mean, you'll know when you're tightening them up. It'll come to a stop, a hard stop, and you'll know you can't go any farther than that. Make sure that you do get the washer fully seated. So now that you got those all back installed, you can go on ahead and put the coil packs back on. They just slide straight back down into place. Don't forget to connect all the connectors. And then you can put the 10 millimeter screws back in, or bolts. And you can go on ahead and put the engine cover back on. Just like that. And so that concludes the spark plugs. Like I said, it's super easy to do. You can probably do them in 15 minutes if you're really working quick. So I'll go on ahead now and show you how to replace the air filter as well. Okay, onto the air filter, which is another very easy part to change. Again, this is a 2014 Rav4, so granted the air boxes are going to be probably very similar, even though this engine is found in the Camry and in the Scion. You know, maybe the angle of the box might be different, or the clips could be a little different, but most Toyota boxes nowadays have just two clips, this one and this one. You just pop them down like so. And then the bottom of the box down here will usually sit in like little grooves. So you'll pretty much just lift up the lid like this, and then you can expose the air filter. Sometimes you might have to undo the mass airflow sensor connector, which is up here, to give you just a little bit of extra room. I'm gonna try not to do that because I don't like touching everything if I don't have to. But if you find that it's a little difficult to get this lid off, sometimes it can be. You know, you can loosen up the wiring harness back here in the back. That should give you a little bit of room, but I'm gonna try and do everything leaving this intact. So you can see I just pulled that off easily. You don't want to move this around too much because, you know, there are other connections, and you can get to the air filter like so pretty easily. Pull it out, and then go on ahead and put in your new air filter. Obviously it goes back in the same way you took it out. Usually that means that this rubber side is on the top, not like that, like this. You can go ahead and slip it back into place and make sure it's completely seated in there. And then down in the bottom, you'll see the 2 notches that the lid needs to sit in. So you get those notches lined up first. So this is where the difficult part comes into play, like so. And you just go on ahead and put the 2 clips back on. And that's literally all there is to it. So technically, tune-ups today, you know, you can do them in 30-40 minutes, maybe an hour with the oil change if you do the oil change as well. So really save you guys some money if you can just get yourself a basic spark plug socket and a ratchet, and just do it yourself at home. If you have any questions or comments, you can ask them in the comment section below. I really appreciate you guys subscribing to the channel. It's really helping me out. I will continue to keep on making quality videos as I get things to work on. So I'll see you guys next time.